The strangest thing I ever saw on my TV. 38 answered points. Whoa! Everyone's unhappy.
Mate, people are here for the music.
Everyone's
How bloody
unhappy.
good are those British and Irish lines, mate? Look what they did to that Wallabies team.
Well, all I want to say to Dr. Rassie Erasmus is, you lied to me. You said we would scrum. One scrum penalty in 40 minutes.
I love it.
From one scrum.
I love it. What a game.
What a game, mate. I have seen some incredible matches at Ellis Park. Going back to 92, when we played the All Blacks and that first one back.
1892.
1892. 1995. So many wonderful, wonderful Bok wins there.
Oh.
Some incredible matches. I remember the All Blacks winning Carlos Spencer 35-32, late penalty. But I've never seen anything as crazy as what I saw on Saturday. I mean, it was a crazy match because at 22-0, you thought it could have been 40-0 to the Boks. At 22-5, you felt they should have put them away. At 22-12, it was like, I think we're going to lose this game because we had nothing left. We had punched ourselves out playing the way we did. And had it gone on for another 5 minutes, it would have been 50 unanswered points. It was just one of those games. Privileged to have been there, experienced a bit of history. First ever win for the Wallabies. Joe Smith and his Golden Boys.
Superb, mate.
You guys took 67 points 11 months ago in Argentina. One of the more incredible results in the Rugby Championship. This one's on par.
100%. Fabulous to have the Wallabies back, mate. I asked for it. Wish was granted.
Whoa! Do you know how I got abused on Saturday night in Johannesburg? You said the Boks would win. Yes, I actually did. I said Boks by 15, baby, not Boks by 10.
Yeah.
And what a crime. I actually backed the number 1 team in the world, who are now number 3, the world champions, back to back. I backed them to beat a team that had never won at Ellis Park in the professional era.
Can't believe you didn't
That
see
was
this
22-0 up after 19 minutes. Which clown does that?
coming. Mate, my phone was blowing up in that first quarter. Hey, you said the Wallabies would be close.
You lied! You said we would take a line-out ball. 8 lost line-outs. 8 breakdown penalties. Your mate Fraser McWright, Richie Macau, who came back in a
Exactly,
goal
mate.
jumper.
Fraser Macau.
But it's just an incredible match and just what the Rugby Championship needed.
Yes. What World Rugby needed, mate.
Let's not go that far. What the Rugby Championship needed was an Australian side, most of those guys who had never been to South Africa, playing with a 9 who retired 2 weeks ago, decided, I'll come back for this one, Nick White.
Mate, couldn't have happened to a nice
And
bloke.
One of the golden generation, 17-year-old who made his test debut 18 years and 9 days, James O'Connor, who has South African heritage, who goes down to the Crusaders, plays a season, gets a gold medal in Super Rugby, comes to Ellis Park, starts at 10, and he's part of the most incredible Wallabies win. Jeremy Paul, apologies from Cape Town. Apparently you knew a thing or two when you said they would shock them in Johannesburg, mate.
Exactly.
I don't know if you were speaking to the Aussies or if you knew some insight from Rassie and the team.
Yeah.
But the condemnation, Zels,
Oh, no.
of a lot of the South African public on social media is absurd.
Absurd, mate. And I'm laughing. I mean, you and I are laughing. I don't really know even where to begin to unpack this, but I'm laughing because as much as I'm shocked by what happened on Saturday, this period of where the Boks are right now and this kind of anomaly happening was completely predictable to the point that you and I called it last year in 2024. We said, if you guys play around with expansive rugby, this is the road that you're going to walk down, and these kind of things are going to happen. So I'm not shocked that the Boks got to this point. I am surprised that it happened against the Wallabies, 6th in the world, at the Highveld, in a World Rugby Championship where you're trying to win it and you've got to beat the All Blacks twice in New Zealand to do it. We picked Australia to finish last in the Rugby Championship, mate. So that's funny to me. It's funny to me that the sort of shock and outrage that nobody's been paying attention to what the Boks are doing.
You know, I would have been kind of disappointed or maybe a frowned even if we had lost 28-26 playing the best rugby I ever thought we could and thinking maybe some of these guys are shot. Maybe they are a year past it. But we said pre the test match when you were in Cape Town, I was in Johannesburg, and I was like, how much I missed you up there, bro. And
Came back with an accent.
Listen here, China. Just don't lose your accent when you get to Cape Town, okay? No more of this, mate, okay? Or as the Oak said to me at Ellis Park, don't come back again. It's been a decade since we've seen you in the press box.
Don't do it again.
Get out of here. So we said, when I asked you the scoring, and you said a lot of it will be done in the beginning by the Boks. Or you said by Australia in the end by the Boks. We got that wrong.
Completely, mate.
Because the Boks did all the scoring
Completely.
And I thought Australia would come out and play like the Boks did for 15, 20 minutes, and then there'll be nothing left. But what they also did show is they crushed the myth that touring teams can't play at altitude. Anyone can play at altitude if you're well conditioned and your game management is good. And Australia did that. They hung in there defensively. They made their tackles. They refused to go away. They kept on believing. And then they just
stop believing.
Strangest thing I ever saw on the TV. 38 answer points. Whoa! 38 unanswered points. It's still like I'm stunned, man.
Listen, so you talked about the inversion of the scoring, how we predicted it and how it was inverted. And I think that's a great segue for me to say that the Boks are actually 100% inverted. So this, and we predicted it, and this is the consequence of chasing a more expansive game, going away from the traditions of what is the core of Bok rugby. Is there value in the Bok team that won the 2023 World Cup being more expansive and more capable and confident and organized on attack? 100%. But what is the opportunity cost of that? So what I warned against and what I predicted was the net value would be negative. They haven't got to the 2027 World Cup, so the proof's still going to be in the eating of the pudding. But on Saturday, that bore out, is that the Boks, if they played one pass rugby with Kubus Visa at 8 and the biggest oaks they could find and played almost no rugby, kicked the crap out of the ball, they would have demolished that Wallabies team. But they tried to out-Wallaby the Wallabies. They weren't conditioned to do it, number one. Luat Diago, off his feet by the 30th minute, could barely walk as the Wallabies scored a try. And this whole thing that I think what's changed with the high fault factor is that opposing teams now know that when you play on the high fault, you have to change how you play and you have to pace yourself for 80 minutes. So when the Boks come out and when the Lions come out and when the Bulls come out and they play their best rugby in the first 20 minutes, they just punch themselves out. And the Lions are the pros at this. They did this under Ackerman. They would bait teams into running themselves off their feet in the first 20 minutes. They would dig themselves into a hole, the Lions. They would concede an early lead to the opposing team, allow the other team to play all of their moves, do all of their running, and know that from 30 to 80 minutes, they are going to be gassed. And then they would just reel them in, mate. Reel them in and overtake them. And that's what happened on Saturday. The Boks, no team can play that tempo of rugby for 30 minutes, never mind 80 minutes. The Boks were dead on their feet, aside from the fact that that kind of game plan calls on you to have a level of conditioning that is on another level because you're constantly reacting to stuff you don't know is coming. So like that try, which I love, from Andre Esterhuizen, came off an offload from Eben Etzebeth in contact. Now, our locks generally don't offload in contact. That situation was completely unpredictable. The whole team had to react to it. And that acceleration, that burst, that heart rate in reaction and response to that is exactly what I'm talking about. When you play boring, old Bok rugby and everybody knows who's taking the ball up, who's cleaning, what's happening next, there isn't that level of reaction.
Well, we are seeing, and I take it that's your Stecco play.
That's my Stecco play, mate. Andre Esterhuizen, first career test try.
Yeah, and he came close to another one.
Coincidental.
So what Stecco have done, they're going to give us lots of prizes over the Rugby Championship. You've got to drop a comment in and tell us what your Stecco play of the week is, and you'll go into a draw, and you'll win some cool prizes. Go to our WhatsApp channel, and we'll tell you what those prizes are. I love the way we constructed in the beginning. The Grant Williams bomb, Tom Wright dropped.
Beautiful.
That first 1 minute, 33 seconds, it was just, and then we should have just switched the lights off, okay? And said, that's how we can play. We tried to then do that for 80 minutes. Got seduced by the occasion. My Stecco player, though, has to go to the victors. It goes to Joseph Swahili.
Oh.
This guy is the best thing that's happened to Australian Rugby Union. Kudos to Eddie Jones for signing him.
Yeah.
He said this kid would be big. The debate is 15 or centre. Mani Lebok will hope he goes to 15, okay? Because 6'4", the way he pounced that ball, 22-19, that was a decisive play in the game. We still couldn't change the way we played. Even then, there was an arrogance and a seduction about we can still win this game. They're not that good. Even though we were gassed, we should have gone back to a bit more percentages. Then we do a short kickoff to Swahili. The best guy under the high ball, probably in world rugby, is a bit like Izzy Folau. But glad that South Africa finally got to see him, and I got to see him live.
Yeah.
He does this ritual pre-match. I took a little bit of a video of it. Hopefully you can see it. Barefoot, grounded, in touch with Ellis Park, in touch with the occasion, in a meditative form, and he was outstanding, and he's got that X factor differentiator player. So winning team gets my second player of the moment. It is Australian. It is Joe Swahili.
Yeah, that's a good call, mate. That is a good call.
As I said, drop us a comment. Let us know what yours is. You go into a draw, and you will get some cool prizes. We'll be announcing them every week during the Castle Rugby Championship. You know, it's like my dad used to say to me, cheer or jeer on Saturday night, rest on Sunday, reflect on Monday.
Let's reflect.
And it is reflection, okay? So I asked you just before we started, Zels, just give me a little look in 11 months ago when the Wallabies lost 67-27, conceded 40-odd points in 25 minutes in Argentina. But about 10 of those players won at Ellis Park 11 months later. Then 57-15, 2016 in Durban and Albany in New Zealand, over the Harbour Bridge, 10 Ks from Auckland, 57-0, shutout. Big names, Jesse Creel, Ibn Etzebeth, Bongi, Peter Steph de Toy, Franco Mostert, Sio Khaleesi, massive names. They were all there. They conceded 57-57. These boys have been there before. They came back and they won back-to-back World Cups, a British and Irish Lions series and a rugby championship. So people condemning them, people having a go and saying it's, you know, the one thing about South African rugby and New Zealand rugby, you win 9, you lose 1, it's a crisis. Australian rugby, you lose 9 and win 1, you're back, baby.
You're a hero.
The strangest thing I ever saw on the TV. Whoa, 38 answer points. It's like when we beat England 36-0 at the 2007 World Cup round robin match. And the French were going mad, and they were telling us, Afrique du Sud in like 36. Angleterre, 0. 0. So,
mate, what I will say about all of that is blaming the players for this result is absolute folly, mate. Just like we gave Rassie massive credit for winning the World Cup, and like he said himself, I'm just spitting his words back out. Rassie said, listen, this is one the coaching team must wear and must, we have to investigate ourselves in terms of our prep and our thinking, and I have no doubt that will be happening this week, and that the Boks are going to bounce back. You're going to see a massive response. We'll get back to winning ways. But the idea that we've got the wrong players, some guys are done, they have to go, crisis, we need to change, this has got nothing to do with it. If you give the kids ice cream for breakfast and they start vomiting at lunchtime, it's not the kids that are the problem. You're the adults. You can't be giving them ice cream for breakfast. And that's what we've done with this game plan, is we've said, guys, if you think it's on, go for it. And the players are always going to think it's on.
And Rassie saying afterwards, even Tony Brown was saying, you're overplaying it. Keep it down. Too late, mate. Back at the buffet.
Choc punch.
Yeah, you can't, as you say, you can't take your kid to the eat as much as you want. It's costing us not much buffet, and then say, listen here, condition yourself.
Yeah, hey. You can't have for seconds.
You can't have the lamb and the pasta and the why not?
Damn right.
So what it showed is we can play that kind of game. We saw that in Argentina. Up to a big start, I think it was 17-0 up. Then they came back, played with a little bit more discipline and beat us. So that game is evolving. The one thing that Rassie has always been...
But listen, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what that also showed us is the cost of that game. So the perils of that game. So even when you play that electric rugby and you score some freaking beautiful tries, to the point that even Andre Esterhuizen is scoring a try, his first career try. That's like magnificent what you've done there on attack. The cost of that is you concede 38 unanswered points against a Wallabies team that some believe is the worst ever on the high fault in a massive must-win game. So those are the things for me that mustn't be lost. It's not so much about, you know, it's absolute value in that, but I just wonder about the net gain.
I hear what you're saying, but it wasn't an absolute must-win game.
Well, I don't know, mate. If you're trying to win the rugby championship,
but are we trying to win the rugby, or do we want to win at Eden Park? So if you look at how this team has managed themselves and got 2 World Cup wins back to back, a rugby championship and a British and Irish Lions series, they've been willing to sacrifice the odd home.
I like the way you're going there, mate.
They were willing to lose to Wales.
Well, I will say this, mate. The people that are most upset about that result are in New Zealand, mate, because now they know the Boks are coming with only one thing on their mind.
The underdog status. We've been written off again. Yes, it works. So if you go back to 2018, 23-18, we lost in Brisbane. Everything was geared around winning in New Zealand, so that team could get the confidence that they were good enough to beat the standard bearers, the All Blacks at that stage.
Yeah.
It took Bowden Barrett to hit the post from in front, 36-34. We got the win. We came back to South Africa. We were 30-13 up with 13 minutes to go at Loftus. This was no fluke till it was 32-30. Richie Manga kicks from the corner, and it shows the Bok team just exactly where they are in their evolution. So I look at this, and I take your point earlier, Zels, is this snort club, or POES club, as a lot of oaks said, was coming.
Yeah.
The P club was coming, Paksla.
Yeah.
No one thought it would be against Australia in Johannesburg. People thought it may come in Paris, it may come at Eden Park, it may come at the Aviva. But there was going to come a time where they had to play this game. And I think they thought they were good enough, and Australia maybe not that good enough to still get out of jail by playing it.
And for everybody who's upset about that, Russie's been gambling on these games for years now, and we've been winning. So when the guy rolls the dice and you love the fact that he's gambling, taking chances with selections, taking chances with tactics, you can't be upset in the 1 in 20 games when it doesn't come off.
Yeah, and it's again 57-15, 57-0, 38-3, losing to Italy. The big name, the big five, the raw guys were there. They picked themselves up, they got it right, and they won the biggest test matches when it mattered, the clutch tournaments when it mattered. They will bounce back. They'll bounce back on Saturday,
100%.
and they will be competitive at Eden Park, but they won't go there with overwhelming favourite status now. Can anyone stop them? Hey, they conceded 38 unanswered points. Afterwards, someone said to me, like, you don't look terribly upset, given that you always back the Boks. I said, well, if you're in the corner of Anthony Joshua when the fat boy Ruiz was pounding him, his corner didn't look upset. They were just like, wow, we've never been here before. And when he was looking at them dazed, battered, bewildered, they were like, mate, we're going to have to try and fix it the next time. The next time he went out there, he boxed him for 12 rounds and didn't get into a slugfest and won nearly every round.
I love it when you talk punching.
I love it when I talk, well, let's not talk UFC. To Trickers, you'll come back stronger.
What a legend.
Beat him by one of the complete grapplers / wrestlers. And just credit to the guy who beat him. But the vitriol again at Drickers on social media is just disgusting, okay? The vitriol aimed at some of the Boks, absolutely disgusting. I mean, come on, guys.
Come on.
You'd swear it was 38 on sports. The strangest thing I ever saw at Ellis Park.
Mate, we talked about points conceded. We played 4 tests this year. The only test where we conceded no points was against Italy, 45-0. That was the only test this year where the Boks have outkicked their opponent. On Saturday, Australia, 29 kicks, South Africa, 18. We had all the carries, mate. We played all the rugby. We've had more carries than our opponents in every test this year. Yeah, it's a nice little trend indicator.
And I mean, and the common denominator was you go from Nick Mallett to Gavin Rich to Rassie Erasmus.
Oh, the greats. The greats.
To Brendan Nell, to myself, to them all.
Gringo.
Mike Greenway. It was a very simple thing. Didn't play field position. Disrespected the need to play field position. And didn't have the balance in the game, and the halfbacks didn't control it. And also, you pick the heaviest pack, and then you play touch rugby. I mean, we're introducing a segment in the show every week because we want to, and we can. It's going to be called Sharman Corner. It's based on a guy who went to Kez, the Red Army, Mike Sharman, retroviral. He's the man there. Wonderful guy. But he started a rumor, or did he, that he played for the Red Army's first 15. And at his 21st, it was a come as your superhero party. 6 of his mates came in the K's first team jersey, running out to the chant, Mike Sharman never played for the Red Army. Mike Sharman never played for the Red Army. So Sharman Corner is going to be, for me, a moment in a game that's like kind of like a rumor that you thought couldn't happen, or did it happen, or do we believe it happened? And my moment was Wilco Low at 10.
Mate, I didn't see
Did it happen or didn't it happen?
Mate.
It was so absurd, people are still believing it.
Mate. So let me tell you, like, the standouts for me, right? I didn't see the props until, like, the second half. I remember the locks for their passing. Our passing was outstanding, mate. Some of the touches from Lut Diago, mate. Maybe he does belong in the back line. They were pretty.
So the shaman corner is going to be the absurd moment in the game.
What? So is that your absurd
My
moment?
absurd moment was Walcolo playing fly because there was one scrum to the box. So every match, we're going to pick out one. You can also drop that into the comments. The Shaman, that's SHARMAN. And that's going to be sponsored by whoever, Mike. So, and hey, guys, Kez, forgive him. It's not his idea. It's mine, okay? At his reunion next year, go easy on the guy. Because he never played for the first 15. And you got to ask yourself, were there really 38 unanswered points?
Were they, mate?
Well, that's the thing. Did that game ever happen?
Did it really happen?
Did it really happen? Does anyone care?
What I do know,
In
mate.
2027, we win the World Cup for the third successive time.
True. But you can't kind of be living in the future, right? You have to live in the now. That's part of the
I like to
conversation.
live in the future.
Sweet hoverboards. Look, mate, I think the Boks are going to bounce back massively this week. The Wallabies are in a heap of trouble. It's going to be beautiful to watch, mate. And apparently some rain. So hopefully the Boks shelve the sexy stuff and just get back to punishing people. And I think we're going to roll them.
How was Harry Wilson's little trot to the track?
Mate, how did Harry... So this is how you know the Oaks were gassed. Harry Wilson ran away from Marty the Boks, mate.
And Jason Creel.
Todd Wright ran away from Jesse Creel. I mean, come on.
No.
Mate, that's impossible.
And I mean, Edwell, I know he took a bump to his knee, but Joe Suhali is fast. He's not that fast there. He was going forward. Edwell was going back. He was going to Pretoria, like going to Midrand or something like that. But they were gassed. I mean, they were out on their feet.
Mate.
But Cape Town's going to be a ripper. Our Avant collab went very well.
Oh, good.
Smitty and Gregan had said anything 1 to 5, it was going to be the winning margin. I don't think they called it like us. At 22.9 of them, I thought they were in the money, kind of. Everyone thought they were in the bottles. So Keo Zels is the code that you put in there. And someone put Keo Zels' code in, and they are coming to Cape Town to watch the test match. They're going to the big event that we're hosting with Avant, SARugbymag Magazine, and George Gregan at the Ferrari showroom, VIP exclusive only, pre the match. And they're getting put up in a hotel, and they're going to get to the test match. And that's because they went in and they bought a bottle and they put the Keo Zels a logo there.
What a legend.
Now, the big competition that's going to happen as well, and that guy's name is Jan Hendrik, and it's not Wessels. It's Jan Hendrik. He's from Monument Park in Pretoria. It's Jan Hendrik Strauss.
Congrats, buddy.
It'd be nice if Jan Hendrik Wessels wouldn't have to pay for the flight.
Exactly, yeah, really. I can't make it, I'm playing.
So he won the Avant Brandy, but they've even given us a better prize. It's Argentina against the Springboks in Durban.
Yeah.
And it's spend a night with Butch James.
Woo!
And the other co-founder, so you know Smitty's going to be there. Many other guy will be there.
Just qualify spend the night, mate. Somebody's going to think they're sleeping over at Butcher's place.
Yeah, well, Easter. John Reggie asked me, can he go? He's going to
That's a big bag.
So, Zels, you and I will probably have to be there to spend that Friday evening. But if you buy a bottle of Avant and you put Keo Zels code, you go into the draw to get to Durban. Again, you get to watch the test match and you get to spend the night with Butch James. And I can tell you now, a Friday night with Butch James is something to believe. It's almost as incredible as 38 unanswered points.
Insane.
Whoa, the strangest thing we ever saw on the TV. Ellis Park, I had a great time. It was really nice being back there, Zels. I went off to see some guys. One of my good old friends and colleagues, Mike Greenway, he's written 2 books, Bok to Bok. Wonderful thing. The 4 world champions, 3 prizes, points, 2 cups back to back. A phenomenal journey.
That looks great, mate.
And the other one, which I have actually read, The Fireside Springbok, the untold story that makes the Boks great. And
Magnificent hardcover, mate. That's
just
beautiful.
Production values.
That is
wow.
amazing.
That's why you got to go out. It's available everywhere and get it. He
That
says
is
never
really
a dull moment. He brings out all the things, and you know he's KZN, Ian Mack, and all those guys. But I saw some great quotes in this one, Bok to Bok, which I think is very important in this week where everyone is like, oh, the Boks gone. Can the Boks by 10, baby? They'll be back, okay? Fabien Gaultier, France coach, 29-28 quarterfinal defeat. 1 point can be nothing, but also everything. And then the other one, Richie McCaw, the greatest. He said that an advantage the Boks have enjoyed was the responsibility they felt to play for the greater good of their country. He said he came to that conclusion, not after playing against them, but after sharing a room with Bok captain John Smith for a week before a game for the Barbarians. It's when they played the Aussies at Wembley Stadium.
Beautiful.
And they actually lost. They had Nick Costa made his debut for the Barbarians. It was a great Barbarian side, but They couldn't scrum because of the Wembley pitch. But they have a responsibility, and they embrace it, to play for the greater good of this country. We as supporters also have a responsibility to back them when they're in a corner. And yeah, you can be disappointed about the performance. No one is more shattered than those Oaks who were out on their feet. You don't go out there. Eben, Sear, Peter Steff, look at those 2 World Cup title wins. They look at the Rugby Championship title. They look at the Lions series and they go, great. But they also say, we were there when we were 57-0, 57-15. And they'll always be associated with the 38 unanswered points, a 38-22 drubbing. So they will hurt and the pain will be there. And it doesn't help to kind of kick a Oak when he's down, when he's done so much for you. So there's got to be some reflection and perspective this week. We're going to pick a different team. You're going to see a conservative approach with more balance. You're going to see the general, the Iceman, Pollard there. We're going to, and I'm confident, win, if not comfortably, but we'll turn it around.
We're going to pump them, mate.
And we'll go to, you don't pump anyone.
We're going to pump them.
Only the Stormers pump Benetton in Cape Town, 56-5.
12-3.
And 1 point will be to pump in now. But we know where it went wrong. It would be catastrophic if we thought we had played our best rugby and lost 38-20.
Well, that's what I was going to say early on, where you said, I would have frowned if we'd lost 28-20. Like, for me, this is a lot less concerning than that. And, look, rugby fans come in different shapes, sizes, and forms. Some of them are serious people who really follow the game. Others are sort of casual weekend guys. Feel free to express yourself however you want to. You enjoy the game however you want to. There's no moral obligation. But just understand that if you overreact to this game, all it is basically a reflection that you haven't really been paying attention to what's going on in the game, mate. Because the Boks are experimenting with new ideas, new tactics, new plans, and there will always be teething pains. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I think it's also, there's this reality check to me, you, everyone at SA Rugby, the players, the public. If you're slightly off your game,
totally.
If your legs are gassed,
Yep.
You're going to take a beating. So they arrive in New Zealand with a vulnerability that they can get beaten and get beaten well. So people would say, how did a team that contained those 7 giants ever lose 57-0 to New Zealand? They played the wrong game.
Yep.
How did they lose 38-3 at the Aviva 2 Island? Wrong coach, wrong game. So the quality of the player doesn't go away.
100%, mate.
Why was the bomb squad not effective? Because 6 didn't walk on the same time. They drip-fed them into the game because of circumstance and various other things. You also look at who wasn't there. And who wasn't there was Damien Dealandi. Who wasn't there was a Pollard. So it's another lesson to people. It's so easy to say, chuck them out. We don't need them. Well, maybe we do. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe we do. Maybe we do need a big 8 as well. And it's like, Peter Steff, I mean, that guy played his heart out. If you look at those Boks individually, so many of them played their hearts out, but the decision-making was wrong. And that came from fatigue. Everyone wanted to get the 3-pointer after the buzzer. Even that last try of Tom Wright's, ordinarily, Jesse keeps that ball, he takes the contact, we recycle, there's 2 guys running off and we score under the poles and it's a great try. He flips it inside, Tom Wright can't believe he's got it, boom, off he goes, he scores. Tom Wright again, Tate McDermott beating Kane and Moody with a step inside straight through the middle, no one there, because we had no defense, it was so unstructured. And the Bok teams thrive on, and you know that better than anyone else, that's your bread and butter, on structure and defensive structure.
Organization, absolutely.
And it reminds me a bit also when we went to the Gold Coast after COVID and they got the last minute penalty win. And it was like, we're boorish, we don't know how to play. Dave Rennie was coaching the Wallabies and we went out and tried to play this kind of rugby. And we got pummeled, 4 tries to 2. We scored 2 late ones. And they played like a Bok team. They niggled, they were effective, they're conservative. And back then, and Rassie was on his ban, he was in South Africa, and the feeling was we got seduced again and lulled into trying to show the world we can play a different way. The world wants us to play the way you saw in the first 30 minutes because they know they can beat us that way. Australia and the Wallabies and the All Blacks, that's Bledisloe Cup rugby. That's bread and butter for them. They don't want us to play with our big heavies. They don't want us to do those things. And when I watched that game, it was like watching the Highlanders and the Crusaders, and we were the Highlanders. And
I love that.
It looked beautiful, but it also told me why we won 3 titles in 25 years in Super Rugby.
Bingo.
And when we did win them, we won them with one of the greatest Bulls packs and a great halfback pairing of Farid Aprea and Mornay Steyn at 10.
And ironically, Brian scored some nice tries, didn't he?
He did score some nice tries. And when they had done the damage up front, as in the final against the Chiefs, 61-17, and the Chiefs were 17-0 up after 10 minutes at Loftus, one of the most one-sided ever Super Rugby final. We played to every strength that went on and took a team to win the World Cup in 2007.
Bingo.
So I love the evolution of the game.
Yeah.
Let's never move away from our DNA. It's won us 2 World Cups. It's won us last season's Rugby Championship and the British and Irish Lions series. And Andy Good apparently said the Lions would have beaten these Boks 3-0. They won't, because they'll never play them. So come on, man. It's perspective. And as Bakkies always says, the 2 P's in rugby.
Pressure and support.
We need to support this week, okay? Support. So how do you summarize, Zels?
Oh, mate.
To the negatory people out there.
Yeah, look, I just wouldn't read too much into this game. I think it was predictable that we'd get to this point. I think massive, obvious, glaring sirens and red flags shot up in that match. I hope the Bok management team takes it on board and doesn't sort of write things off to just a lack of conditioning or we just lacked a bit of balance. I think there's some very key learnings there, and I'm 99% sure that they would have taken that on board. And I have absolutely no doubt that the Boks are going to bounce back in a big way. And I give some credence to what you're saying there about, you know, the key test this year is the Boks at Eden Park. And I think there may be a little bit of value for us going into that test from this result. So I fully expect the Boks to bounce back. The players, we've got great players. We've still got 3, 4, 5 teams in depth. And when we decide to play clever rugby, we are by far the best team in the world.
Well, let's go back to Wales. The year
It's a long way, mate.
Wales on Sunday. Wales on any day, China. As James Bolton once said. Wales come here a year after we have this titanic COVID-inflicted series win against the British and Irish Lions. It's like, why are they even coming? We're going to demolish them 3-0. It takes an 81st minute penalty from Damien Willemse to get us the win at Loftus. Rassie changes 13 guys. We lose to the last minute conversion. Gareth Anscombe in Bloemfontein. First ever win for Wales at altitude in South Africa. Well, it's kind of semi-altitude. Comes to Cape Town for the decider. He puts his strongest team out. We win 30-15, a doer game, but a clinical game. And from there, we kick on. There's so many similarities about how he's been using every season these home games to a build. It's in the last 20 minutes at Loftus were pummeling us. We were 28-3 up, and they could have got another 2 tries. We went down to Gqeberha, Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, 45-0 with 13 players on the field at one stage. So there is a consistency in terms of the madness, the methodology.
Totally.
And the results have been good. I think the big thing is no one thought Australia actually had it in them to put 38 points past us.
Spot on.
And it would have been 42 if James O'Connor had kicked another 2 conversions.
Yeah.
And it would have been 52 if there'd been another 5 minutes.
But like you say, mate, the one thing you know for absolute sure, without a doubt, is Rassie has a plan. There's no part of him that's scrambling now to try work out what happened. He knows exactly where we are. He's proven that over and over again during his tenure. So we're in good hands. We still have all these great players, and we're about to come back and live up to that status this week, I think.
But there was a lack of reality check as well.
Totally.
Everyone came down from the cloud. Everyone saw that, hey, this is actually water. You can, if you dip your toe in too deeply, you can actually start.
Show some bloody respect, mate.
Yeah, show your respect for the occasion, mate. It was a tough occasion. But Joe Smith was great as well. I mean, he's such a good man and such a good rugby coach. And he's like, that ball goes to Andre, he scores. Tom Wright scores. The other one, it goes over Joe's head. Box score, we score. He said, we know what we got. We know what's coming. Because they said, is there a backlash? He said, I don't think a backlash is the word. What we know is they're not going to be throwing those passes in Cape Town. So, I mean, he knows it. And I'm so glad the effort that he's put in that they got that reward. And I think to any Australian, Sean Mahoney election, the commentary was just magnificent.
Magnificent, man.
You bet you, baby. I loved it, eh? So,
yeah, it was brilliant. And great to see, like, I mean, you mentioned him at the top of the show, like James O'Connor. If you've been around when that guy's been playing since he was 19 years old.
17.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when he really like burst out.
18.
Yeah, he was absolutely just magnificent player. Great redemption opportunity for him. He said it's his best win in the Wallaby jersey. Just a glorious ending to, well, not ending, but next chapter in that story.
And if you look at, just when you get given a good one, you've just got to take it on the chin, acknowledge it, and say thank you. I get the chance 6 days later to 7 days later to come back and get some form of redemption. And someone said to me, the referee, I just said, hey, easy there.
The referee.
Easy there. What, those 5 forward passes? The penalty count of 15-3.
Yeah.
So, this one really wasn't about match officials. It was self-inflicted in terms of how we got into a position, and the Wallabies had enough class, enough strike power, and enough confidence to actually punish us. And lessons are learned from that one, man. Just like when we look at our under 18s, under 20s, lessons have been learned in the last year. And when we saw the under 20s lose to Australia at the Nelson Mandela Bay, and then go put 79 points past them at a World Cup, lose to New Zealand and go and beat New Zealand in a final. And we saw our under 18s absolutely demolish France, Ireland, and then put 69 points past England on Saturday. Marcus Miller, yo, doing.
Yeah. Running sweet lines of Ethan Adams, mate. Beautiful.
And getting it right. They're playing the right guy at 13 and
right options, 100%.
So, what did you make of that?
Mate, I just think South African rugby is in a fantastic space from the bottom to the top. We've just come off a very disappointing result, but it's just one little dot on a giant big page full of gold stars. We're going to be fine. We'll bounce back, mate. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. Look, we can talk about it, and we will talk about it for the rest of the week. But bottom line is those 80 minutes on Saturdays is where the story is going to be told.
And then, let's not forget about it, the FNB Women Boks, Brazil.
Yo.
It's the Women's World Cup. They play on Friday evening. And Dave Wessels, who's there with the team, with Sways, he sent me a great picture drinking my beer, Keo beer, with what the F is that? I said, I'm everywhere, baby. It's my Cyprian cousins who created that, the Keo beer. It's a very nice tasting lager.
Speaking of Dave Wessels, mate, he was obviously involved with the Rebels. Australians have had a few injuries. James Slipper's out the squad, and they've called up a bloke who was from the Rebels, now with the Brumbies. His name is Rhys van Neck. When you got a prop with the surname van Neck, mate, watch out.
It's like in New Zealand, they have Ethan de Groot.
There you go, mate. Huh? That's as close as they can get to it.
But we do have a guy called Wilco Low. We just got to put him in the front row, and we've got to tell him to scrum, and he can do the shovel pass a little bit later.
It's impossible to get under a prop with the surname Low.